What if time isn't what we think it is? What if it bends, stretches, even stops? In this documentary, we explore the science of time, from Einstein's relativity to the ticking clocks inside our own bodies, and uncover why time shapes everything, yet slips through our fingers. This is time, the science we can't escape. Time, it's everywhere, and yet we can't touch it, hold it, or stop it. It flows endlessly, silently, dragging everything with it. You can't see time, but you feel it. In your heartbeat, in the ticking clock, in the mirror each morning. It governs our schedules, our sleep, our work, our lives. But what is time? Is it a river we float down, or a dimension we're trapped in? Is it real, or just something we invented to make sense of change? We measure time in seconds, minutes, hours, but beneath the ticking hands of a clock lies a mystery that has fascinated scientists and philosophers for centuries. Isaac Newton believed time was absolute, a constant background to the universe, ticking uniformly everywhere. But then came Einstein, and with him a radical idea that time wasn't absolute at all. It could stretch, bend, even stop, depending on how fast you're moving or how close you are to a massive object like a black hole. Time, it turns out, is part of something bigger, a fabric we call space-time, and it's affected by gravity and speed in ways that defy everyday logic. Time isn't just something we invented to be late for meetings. It's built into the very structure of the universe. In Einstein's theory of relativity, time is not separate from space. Together, they form a four-dimensional fabric, space-time. And just like a trampoline stretches under weight, space-time bends when there's mass. This bending affects how time flows. The closer you are to a massive object, like Earth, or even more dramatically, a black hole, the slower time moves for you. It's called gravitational time dilation. So, in a strange but real way, astronauts near a black hole could age more slowly than people on Earth. To them, it might feel like minutes have passed. Back home, years. Speed also bends time. The faster you move, the slower time goes for you. A concept proven by satellites and atomic clocks in orbit. It's not science fiction, it's physics. This is called the twin paradox, a thought experiment where one twin travels at near light speed and comes back younger than their sibling. So time isn't fixed. It's flexible. It flows differently depending on where you are and how fast you're going. But no matter what, it always moves forward. Beyond physics and theory, time rules our daily lives in ways we barely notice. We live by clocks, calendars, deadlines. It shapes our routines, our memories, our very sense of self. Inside your brain, in a region called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, lives your internal clock. It controls your circadian rhythm, a 24-hour cycle that regulates sleep, body temperature, hormones, even hunger. When this clock is disrupted by shift work, jet lag, or too much screen time, everything feels off because your body doesn't just tell time, it depends on it. But we don't just experience time biologically, we feel it emotionally. Remember being a child? Summer lasted forever. Now, years vanish in a blink. Why does time feel fast when we're having fun and agonizingly slow when we're not? Psychologists say it's about attention and memory. When we experience new things, our brain stores more detail, making time feel longer in hindsight. Repetition, like routine, makes it blur by. Time stretches in pain, flies in joy, crawls in boredom, and speeds up as we age because fewer things feel new. We live time not in hours but in moments. These moments, fleeting, precious, are how we mark time, not by the ticking of a clock, but by the beating of our hearts. We obey time, but we dream of escaping it. What if we could go back, fix a mistake, relive a perfect day, or jump ahead to a future we'll never see? Time travel has fascinated us for centuries, in books, films, and late-night theories. But what does science actually say? In theory, wormholes, tunnels through space-time, could connect distant points in time as well as space. They might allow travel to the past or future, but there's a catch. They're incredibly unstable. They might collapse before you ever step through, and we've never found one. Black holes, however, are real, and they do distort time. Get close enough, and time slows down dramatically. Get too close, and not even light escapes. In 1998, scientists proved that time ticks slower for GPS satellites than it does on Earth. Why? Because they're farther from Earth's gravity. It's small, but measurable, and it confirms time can be bent. Then there's the pursuit of immortality. Some hope to freeze the body and return later, skipping centuries like a time capsule. Others imagine uploading the mind into machines, escaping biology altogether. But no matter how advanced we become, one truth remains. We have never escaped time. Not once. Not really. Maybe we're not meant to. If time can bend, stretch, and slow down, why does it only move forward? Why can't we go back? Here's the strange part. Most fundamental laws of physics work the same whether time runs forward or backward. The math doesn't care, but we do, because life only flows one way. The answer lies in a single word: entropy. It's the measure of disorder in a system. And according to the second law of thermodynamics, in a closed system, entropy always increases. In simple terms, things fall apart. They break, they decay. A shattered glass doesn't reassemble. Smoke doesn't go back into the match. Heat doesn't flow from cold to hot. That's entropy, and it defines the arrow of time. From the moment of the Big Bang, the universe has been expanding, and entropy has been increasing. That's why time has direction. Why we remember the past but not the future. Why we age and don't grow young again. Entropy gives time its flow, its irreversibility. It's not just a clock ticking, it's the universe unraveling in slow motion. And once it's gone, it's gone. The arrow doesn't turn back, at least not for us. Time is not the enemy. It's not something to fight or escape. It's the canvas on which our lives are painted, moment by moment. It humbles us, reminding us that nothing lasts forever. And it inspires us, because knowing something will end makes it beautiful. Science teaches us what time is, but only life shows us what time means. It's in the stories we tell, the memories we keep, the seconds we waste, and the ones we treasure. You can't hold on to time, but you can be present for it. You can choose how to spend it, who to give it to, and what moments to fill it with. Time is the science we can't escape, but maybe we were never meant to. Maybe time is the very thing that gives life its meaning. And in the end, all we ever have is now.